Got America's favorite dog here too.
Yeah. Famous Cora. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm Ben. We're in Jason's garage here. If you guys remember, not too long ago, he picked up the 06 DR650, and he's done a few things to it so far as weight savings and some other sort of convenience and sort of reliability type stuff. So we'll go over that quick, and then he's got a whole list of stuff that we're going to do to it today to make it a little bit more trail worthy.
Got rid of the passenger pegs. Don't plan on carting Ben around at all. Took the bar weights off. Don't really plan on doing any highway cruising with it. Took the helmet lock off. These are the original preload spacers. I took these out, replaced them with PVC that are just a touch longer to add a little preload and save some weight. Kickstand safety switch. Another item kind of in the same token where it's weight and reliability issue is the chain roller. There's an upper chain guide on there. It mounts in the frame right here, and at full compression, right now we're at full droop on the stand, my sweet stand here. But at full compression, it actually gets in the line of the chain, and you'll snap it off and rip a hole in your frame. Put a set screw or bolt or whatever in there, Loctited it in so it's not going anywhere and plugs it up. As far as the kickstand switch goes, if you follow the wire up, you'll find a plug here. I just soldered it into itself and shrink tubed it. Clutch safety switch, I bypassed that as well. I didn't remove it, but I bypassed it. So if you follow this wire down back inside of here, you'll find two bullet plugs. If you just unplug it and then plug it into itself, that'll be bypassed. Extended this little fender down, so as you can see, there would have been a gap there, and you're gonna throw mud and rocks and stuff on your springs and shock there. So I just got like a little piece of rubber and riveted it on. Item one, I drew up and made a peg lowering kit. So this should drop it down an inch or two and back an inch or so. I'm 6'2", a little taller, it'll be a little easier to stand. We'll be dropping the front sprocket one tooth. So from factory it's a 15, this is a 14. So I'll obviously give you a little more low end grunt with that. And along with that, we're gonna install this seal retainer. I forget what year they added it, but it's some year Suzuki realized that the seal behind the sprocket likes to pop out and dump all your oil out. It's just the OEM Suzuki part that they started putting on bikes at some years. The 2006 does not have it. Some year after that, they started providing it from the factory. So we'll put that in. Another thing I plan on doing is just taking some rubber hosing and zip tying it to the rear brake pedal and the shifter on the left side so that if and when I lay it down, hit a stump, rock, whatever, I don't put a hole in my case. Changing the oil and filter. And then with that, I picked up a magnetic drain plug. So the original factory one's not magnetic. And this is actually from an F250, and it's about $3 at your auto parts store. So we'll see if that works. Another thing that Suzuki realized was a flaw in their design. I don't know what year they started doing it, but for sure 2006 and earlier, they did not lock tight the safety switch screws in, and they're known to back out and rattle around in your case. So if your neutral light starts flickering or isn't working, get on that immediately. We're going to be doing the oil change anyway, so I'll drain the oil, pop the cover off, pop the clutch off, take those screws out, Loctite them, put it back together. Mild steel flux core. So when you drop a tooth on the front sprocket, you can see the retainer, what do you want to call it, just barely clears the chain here. And that smaller sprocket is going to actually make the chain hit this. We're going to have to clear that out a little bit. So you got to rotate it, and then it comes off. And then hopefully that's just chain oil in there and not, not from that seal we've been talking about. Hey, look at that. And there's the seal that's known to come out. There's a bolt up there, and a bolt right there. That's a long one. One thing goes that one way. Probably want to Loctite it, right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I want to go through this clamp for the wires first, and then the ground, and then the retainer. All right. I have to keep the seal in there. So it should be a little loose now, right? How about that?
Perfect.
We need to modify this part. See what's hitting the chain there?
Yep.
So we gotta take a little bit off that. Well, that's done. The only other thing I wanted to do is trim the cover. Oh yeah. I think it has to come out all the way.
Yes, probably.
Oh, I thought I was gonna hit my.
Oh, the new one.
It did hit the plate. Yeah, I think that's one tooth.
Yeah, that really looks low. Once you throw a leg over, you'll know for sure.
So we have a brake switch. Probably need to lower.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you'll run into the
You might run on it.
the little lever with the threaded rod. I think it was the KLR I ended up doing that with. I just went as far as I could and then called that good. Yeah, and you gotta kind of watch it because I think the whole thing will spin and you don't want to tear the boot. Oops, film in your hat.
Shorten this to bring that up to bring that down, right?
Yeah. Yeah, your boot's getting a little. You might want to. I think you can spray like WD-40 on that because if you get that twisted up, it can tear it. Or just keep an eye on it.
It's hitting here now.
Yeah, that's not gonna be good, is it? You kind of have to find a sweet spot between it being comfortable when you're sitting and when you're standing. Because when you're standing, you want to be able to get it down far enough that you can lock it the rear tire without moving yourself too far off of the peg. You may very well end up needing to notch it, but I guess I would maybe try just getting on it and seeing how it feels in like an operable point.
Maybe get off the bucket now then.
Yeah, just to see how it feels when you're actually sitting on it.
Okay, and fall off.
It's a good sign. Good start.
Woo! It might last. Probably like a kickstand on the dirt bikes, just so like vertical and strong and beefy.
Yep, yeah. That's probably about where most of mine are, so yeah, you'll definitely need some more range there. Then yeah, I think that's probably
Turn that key back on. I'm curious if the light's on right now. Yep, it's flashing. We'll have to adjust that.
Because it's pulled down too far, yep.
So I think I'll mark it, take this off, and then just zip it a little bit. Because that'll be nice and rounded so it shouldn't crack too then, you know?
Right, yep.
I knew that carburetor would cut it like butter.
Yeah, that was good.
As you can see, I took a little bit of material out of that where it was hitting. Brake lever itself, cleared it a little bit there too. So now when you brake, you get the full travel of the brake without hitting, no matter how hard you hit it. So what I do now is just slap a little more paint on there to keep it from rusting more than anything. Make sure there's no runs. And then while that's drying, we'll probably go back to our chain tension after dropping the tooth in the front sprocket, get that tightened up. There we go. But it's still twisted. See which way this end is compared to that end?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I've done that to myself a couple times.
24, first try. I think I need a few.
Yeah, I would think so.
Go all the way to 3 and see where we're at.
Yeah. Good thing we got a lot of adjustment left, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna back it off.
Oh yeah. Did get tight in a hurry though, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is too tight. Oops. No, I just went way too far.
When I check it, just so I don't have to do any math, I'll stick this on here and then lift this up, clip it in place, and then drop a finger on it to see where you're at. What did you figure you're supposed to?
1.5, plus or minus 360.
Well, one more click and it was too tight anyway, right? Yeah. So yeah, then you're good. Perfect.
Science! What do you think of that?
Yeah, pretty slick. Yeah, that's actually one thing I've not heard of. It's a good idea though.
Oh. Don't do that. That's why you don't put your fingers.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, look, another brand new one. And action. First gear, no, not even clutching it. No, it'll pick it up.
Oh yeah?
Not even braking or pulling or anything, just flipping it. You can tell it's picking it.
Sweet.
The next thing on our list was we're going to change the oil, and I got a magnetic drain plug, so we'll see if it's not too long and fits. We'll change the filter, and then we're also going to Loctite the neutral safety switch, which is located behind the clutch. So we're going to see what we find behind here. We're not really sure how we're going to get the clutch off yet. So we'll have to take our clutch cable off, and then our supply and return oil lines as well. Got it. So there's a washer on the back side. That's about it. So it's just an O-ring, which would be nice for reusing it. I've seen where somebody wrecked their cooler on the trail, and it is possible to take this off of here.
Oh, and connect it?
And connect it right to here.
Oh, that's awesome.
And completely bypass it.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a good thing to know.
Must be an even number. I did every other and I ended up on the same one. Definitely different lengths. Top row, and then this will be the bottom row. That switch is right here. These wires are. What happens is the plastic shrinks.
Oh, sure. So even if it was tight,
Yeah.
it's not anymore after the...
So it's actually, I mean, it's not a lot to it there, but I wouldn't say it was loose. So I think we'll take these off next. You want to go in a crisscross pattern. I think you want to do like quarter turn on each one until they're free. one big washer, see how it comes all the way to here?
Oh yeah.
So after a little bit of research, this nut is only 36 foot-pounds. And so before we get too fancy with tools and whatnot, I'm gonna try to give it just one little chugga and see what happens. I don't feel too bad about that. And then tightening it, with it only being 36, I think we can find a way to hold it. Because like that was in gear, if it was that tight, this would have launched.
Right, yeah.
So this must be like a thrust washer then. These are spinning different directions, right? Not, well, I mean, different speeds.
Right.
You do the clutch. No reason to take that out. Let's put this back on.
That must be like a sleeve that fits inside of that.
Yeah. I think I'll just leave that on.
Yeah, you might as well.
This is another thing I've seen fail a lot, is this nylon sprocket. We'll lose a couple of teeth, and then you don't have an oil pump anymore.
Ooh.
Which luckily that looks good. And we'll just take one off at a time. Brake clean in there to try to get the oil out. So with this being a super critical engine application, we're going to use some Harbor Freight thread locker. And I brake cleaned and dried the male and female threads. One good drop per the instructions.
Are you just assuming that's going to drain out, or are you going to flush it or something?
I saw
Does
it
that
drain.
not matter?
I saw it draining down.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as it being a blind hole or not.
No, not that. Just being in the engine. I just don't. That doesn't hurt your.
I mean, you can see it dripping out.
Sure.
Done.
Sweet.
All that for that.
Not too bad. Yeah.
So that's the crank, the cam chain, and that's the sprocket that drives the motor side of the clutch. And then it must also hit this oil pump then. Yeah, see there's double sprocket on there. So that's the motor side of the clutch, and then that's the oil pump. And then the spline in the center is what drives the transmission then. I suppose we could put a little oil in it if we wanted to just give it a little bit of...
Rinse it out, yeah.
It'd be like the most complete oil change ever. Like actually that probably is some of the brake clean in it.
Yeah, it looks a little different, yeah.
So I got an extra quarter-ish quart that we won't need just based on the capacity of the oil here. I'm just going to pour a little bit in just as a little bit of a flush just to make sure we get all the brake clean and whatever out. Go into that side. There it comes. And this washer needs to line up with one of these ribs to lock the lock. And then you got a washer, and you got a nut. 36 foot-pounds, which we might be able to get with it in gear. We'll see how this goes.
Ready?
Yeah. So far it's working.
All right.
We're up to 2 foot-pounds.
You can feel that back get sucked down though every time you do that. It's funny.
Yeah, it's not working. Should we try the lever?
Do you want to zip tie it down somehow, or you just want me to try to step on it?
Yeah, let's try putting some pressure on. There we go!
Hey! A tool, just a friend.
Sometimes
Who is a tool?
Let's say sometimes tools are easier to come by. How's that?
Looks good to me.
Now we can put these on. And if you're doing a new one, you might want to do some research because maybe you're supposed to like soak these in oil first. I'm not sure. And then the other thing, if you're doing an actual change, you might want to check like because this is part of the friction surface too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're all touching there.
So what you say is 8 foot-pounds?
84 inch-pounds.
84.
And none of them moved. There. So make sure you got 2 dowel pins. There and there.
Were you gonna try to do the drain plug first or not? Do you not care?
I
Or do you
can't see
it?
it anyway. I mean,
you think it's hidden at either? Either
yeah,
way.
I never saw where it actually was, so nothing to see. I mean, there's a little bit of play here.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, you should be able to hit this nut at least with it, right? Tighten the nut end to end. Never ever starting with a power tool, especially into aluminum. Just one chug of ugga. Now how's the clutch feel? Like a clutch?
Like a clutch, yeah.
So I'm just doing every other one. Doesn't really give you a pattern or a torque spec that I saw. So I just did every one. Now I'm just giving it just a little bit. So that's like 13 and a half. It is.
Perfect.
Or no, it's 14 and a half. There. Then we got these two bolts. So we're gonna try this new plug. I know the thread's right. I'm just a little worried about how much taller it is.
Must be some threads there that never touched before. Seems to go on all the way out. Or something soft.
It looks like I should have plenty of height though.
Must be like a baffle or something.
Yeah, that seems weird. I don't know.
Something like almost right where this paint ends.
And like even without the crush washer, I should have plenty of room there.
That seem right?
Yeah, probably.
Probably just over 2.5 with that case off. So you can see it, there's actually like a bubble in there as it's filling and pouring in. I saw some people talking about, like with the magnetic plugs, how much is normal, because you're going to get some on there, like no matter what. It's where you get like the sand or the chunks.
Oh, right. So stuff that you can like feel.
Yeah, because you're going to get like a ball of like gel, you know?
Yeah, you always have kind of like paste stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a normal clutch wear.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, shavings all the time is probably.
Yeah.
You're missing pieces. Shaving some weight off.
Well, I've seen people have like the ear of like a snap ring, like, but I don't want that either.
Yeah.
I think that's the third gear going.
Yikes.
Oh yeah, we're in gear, right? Somebody bypassed the clutch and kickstand switches.
No, I don't think there is, but it's running usually though.
What's it look like now?
Looks like.
Right between the two or a little?
Yeah, pretty much dead center in the middle. I'd probably leave it there, I guess. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and that, I think you said something to run out of adjustment. I've stretched the springs on those when I ran into that before, because I think I had to do that on my KLR with the lowering brackets too. Yeah, you can either stretch the spring or bend one of the ends of it over a little bit more.
I get more into the meat of the adjuster too.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, then you can kind of readjust and get it to a happy medium part.
So we ended up dropping this one spline. I know we talked before where it looked really low, which it does, But we're looking at other bikes, and usually they're about straight out, as you can see this one is. And it feels like as much of a lift to go down as it does a drop to come up. It actually feels better than it looks. And you gotta keep in mind we dropped this like a full inch or two, so it makes sense that this dropped as far as it did. And then on the brake side, we have this notch, which is probably a good thing. We probably did need to do that. We zipped a little bit of the thread off here because that was hitting and it was still pretty high. And now, as you can see, we're like straight out. Both of them feel pretty much the exact same spot. The other thing we had to do to get the brake adjuster right is on the top side, the spring hoop was like over here more, and all of that was through it. We kind of just moved where the hoop was to make the spring long enough. And so now it is in perfect adjustment.
You've hopped on it a bit and kind of checked all the different ups and downs and whatever on both sides, and it seems like everything feels good for you.
Feels right there, yeah. And either you get used to it or you adjust it, right?
We'll have to get out and see how everything does and get some dirt on it. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care, stay safe, stay swanky, get out, enjoy this beautiful world yourself any chance you get.